All right, in chapter 26, we're going to start talking about seed plant diversity. So in plant evolution, we kind of had this moving from water to land, and that's where we see, liverworts, hornworts, mosses. And then we had vascularization, and what vascularization did is it allows plants to start getting bigger and bigger. And that means that eventually then we evolve seeds. And so this whole section is about seed plants, plants that produce seeds instead of live unprotected offspring, I guess. And so in section 1, you're going to learn about the two major innovations that allowed seed plants to reproduce without water. You're going to look at when seed plants first appeared. You're going to look at pollen grains and seeds and the differences, and also look at flowering and non-flowering seed plants. So in section 2, you're going to talk about gymnosperms. That's just a fancy word mostly for like pine trees and other weird plants. But if you remember gymnosperms and pine trees, I'll be happy. You'll look at the gymnosperm life cycle. You'll look at you'll be able to identify the geological era that gymnosperms kind of came about and really became dominant. And then you'll also talk about the 4 groups of modern day gymnosperms. I love some of those. Cycads are like my jam. And you'll also be able to describe the life cycle typical of a gymnosperm. 26.3 is angiosperms. Angiosperms are flowering plants. So that represents the majority of plant biodiversity that we have in modern day era. And so you're going to look at plants that are probably familiar to you, like sunflowers and poison ivy and creeper vines, the stuff that's in your backyard. So in that section, you're going to look at the main parts of a flower and their functions. You're going to be able to compare and contrast the life cycles of a gymnosperm and an angiosperm. And look more generally at similarities and differences between 2 main groups of flowering plants. In section 4, you're going to look at the role of seed plants, so putting all of these kind of weird little details that you think might not matter into context. So you're going to look at biodiversity, you're going to look at pollination, and you're going to look at ecosystems, deforestation, all those sort of larger issues. So I hope you enjoy this chapter, and after this chapter, the next 3 are going to get really into the details of plant form, physiology, nutrition, and reproduction. See you then.